Okay, that was odd. I was getting like no bit rate at all on the stream. I hope that doesn't mean I'll have to resend the entire announcement. Hang on, I'm gonna have to check real quickly. I'm gonna need to open my web browser back up to check. Because now I'm gonna need to see here. If that, like, is gonna count as a separate stream because of what just happened. Because if that ends up counting as a separate stream, then I'm gonna have to restart the entire announcement. I mean, maybe I can make an updated link. Let me just have a look here. Because I only briefly turned it off. Nope, it's counting it as a separate stream. Okay, I'm gonna have to update the links on my stream announcements on the social media platform. So hang on, everyone. No, the internet is going crazy over Game Overse. Because, yeah, the first episode came out today. Just gotta get some announcements sent out. Alright, maybe next time I do this, I make sure I have the game open before starting the stream. Just to make sure the game's working properly and I don't get this issue again. Okay. Here we are. Alright. I think now we're all set. Let me just check to make sure you guys can hear the game. Which, where is it here? Here it is. Okay, you guys can hear the game. So, we're all set here. Hey guys, Gamer of Gamers in the Zone, and welcome to another episode of Elden Ring, but every time I die, I have to take a moment to do some job searching. That reminds me, actually, I know there's at least the last job searching stream that the company I applied to there, they never got back to me. So I might want to send a follow-up email to them. Problem is, I forgot to write down on my list who they were. So I'm gonna need to figure out who that was I sent an application to at some point. Well, for now, let's get to the game, and I'll worry about that later. But yeah, Elden Ring, we made good progress last time as I was able to defeat Godric by brute forcing my way through the main gate of Stormvale Castle. I know there's still a lot more to Stormvale Castle, so maybe it'll be worth it to check out more of the place before I proceed forward. Especially since those guys drop the smithing stones I need. So it would be kind of worth it to stick around for just a bit longer before we proceed to the next big area and have to deal with that annoying mage boss I had trouble with back in my first playthrough that I ended up never beating. So I want to go for actually finishing the game this time. We also got a bit of backseat from a audience member on where to find this game's equivalent of the Ring of Favor and Protection. So at the cost of taking a bit of extra damage, I now have extra health, stamina, and other various benefits that I guess will be super useful. So with that, I've got myself a Mountain Dew. Let the games begin. Oh yeah, let me know in the comments what you all thought of the new episode of Game Overs on Glitch's channel, because I very much enjoy Glitch's works. Oh yeah, we also got strong enough that we can now wield a decent armor set that looks stylish without having to fat roll. I probably dropped that over. Yeah, all the way over there. Probably. Or, wait. Hang on. I might need to double check again to make sure that the stream is online, because while I'm seeing the frame rate issue resolved, I'm still not getting a response on Restream. So it leaves me a little bit uncertain on if it's getting it. Let me check. Okay, no, it says I'm live. Never mind. So it's a bit odd. The game claims... The game claims I dropped my runes somewhere. I don't see where I could have dropped my runes, though. Oh, yeah, probably in that area where I got the talisman that's really powerful in the early game. But yeah, now that we've beaten the boss, we can just keep moving forwards now that we've made it in through the main gate. Now, at the same time, I am also curious to check out more of the castle, because we kind of just barged in through the main gate. When there's probably still lots of good things to find in this castle. Because as simple as this place is, this is a huge castle. Like, I remember back in my first playthrough, there were a lot of paths to look over. I mean, there's also that underground area that we could check. Because I remember we checked out a bit of this place. But then, we never got too far into the underground area. So I'm still kind of curious to know if there's still anything else there. At the same time, now that we've beaten the castle, I'm not entirely sure what I'd like to do here. So I think for now I'll just keep moving. We finally got our hands on one of the great runes. Wait, the achievement, if I do say so myself. There is nothing here. Also, why do some of the buttons on my controller not work? Am I just not allowed to attack in here, or... Okay, it's probably just because I was indoors in an area where you're not supposed to attack. Nonetheless, there was a dead end that way. What about this way? Okay, there's something here. Hello? What is this? A Shabriri grape. Oh, that's not a crafting item? Oh, apparently it's a key item. A yellowing, oozing eyeball of the infirm. The surface is shriveled, and the inside is squishy, not unlike a large, overly ripe grape. Give to the blind maiden to guide her to the distant light. The blind maiden. I feel like I should know who that is, but at the moment I don't. Dear maiden, where are you? Please take my grapes. Huh. Guessing that'll be important for some sort of side quest. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure what it's for. There it is. The place I had trouble Liurnia of the Lakes. Annoying little mage school. I still remember just how much trouble I had with it my first time. Nonetheless, not entirely sure where else I'd like to go. I'm guessing that tower over there is maybe the one I head to activate that Great Rune. Well, I guess we'll see, because it seems like I need to head to a different tower for each Great Rune. Alright. I forget this game doesn't have fall damage. So I could just go wherever. Perch of Irith. Hello.
You're tarnished, aren't you? Then perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria.
Oh, really? Do you have any sword-based ones?
I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
I am literally 10 runes short. What's this? Oh, a Sacred Tear. If I remember correctly, the Sacred Tears could be used for something, right? I forget what, though. Oh yeah, improves the Sacred Flask's potency. Okay, so I need to find something I can kill just to get some runes. I mean, there's some birds over here. Maybe they'll drop something. There we go. This is an earthly flower.
Oh, there you are. Care to donate a few runes? Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge. Well,
Yes.
Bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Tobes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great.
I mean, I'm down to at least observe them.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries.
A place where I have to fight the annoying boss.
Quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
About Selen.
You've taken an apprenticeship with Selen. Well, that is something. Selen was well known. The most promising sorceress in the history of the Academy. I followed her at school. But there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Selen was expelled from the Academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers. Under the name of the Graven Witch, I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Selen would never do such things.
Hmm. Let's see, about the
Why
glintstone
not
key.
find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the academy.
Sure, I'm willing to give you my key as soon as I find one. Of course, I have no idea where to find one.
Find yourself a glintstone key. Without one, you can't pass through the academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital.
So let's see, what sorceries you got? Glintstone Pebble fires magic projectiles from the glintstone. Glintstone Arc fires a horizontally widening magic arc. And Starlight creates starlight to illuminate surroundings. So Pebble. The most basic glintstone sorcery of the Academy of Rea Lucaria. The glintstone serves as a conduit, launching magical projectiles at foes. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. This is a universal first step on the journey to true knowledge of sorcery. Glintstone Arc. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Rea Lucaria. Yep, outward. The sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. Granted to sorcerers who depart from the Academy to embark on journeys in order to fend off large groups of would-be adversaries. Fools often Roman packs. And Starlight, one of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Rea Lucaria, creates a small floating starlight that illuminates surroundings. This sorcery can be cast while in motion. Granted to the sorcerers who depart from the Academy to embark on journeys. Even during the blackest nights, sojourns underground, or imprisonment in Gaul, the stars are never far from a sorcerer's side. Interesting. So I have return to the site of grace. So I can use, Oh, no, wait, I didn't mean to activate that. Whoops. Alright, so what I wanted to do... Yep, I can increase the amount there. So currently... Yeah, that was to raise max... temporarily raise max stamina. And ultimately have that. Though if I'm gonna go all out with a charged attack build... I might go with the spiked cracked tier, since not only are my... Because with the other talisman I have that's good at enhancing charge attacks that I'm also told is pretty useful. By relying more on charge attacks, that's really powerful. Now, I still don't know if charge attacks, with how slow they are to use... I don't fully know if they fully fit my playstyle. Which is why I don't know how often I'm gonna use it. I mean, it's just this particular claymore weapon I have. What's this? An academy scroll. Oh yeah, I can give that to the mage to learn more sorceries. Hey, who's firing spells at me? Get that out of here. Oh, you think you can get back up? Oh, nice try. Long term, there'll still be benefits to having a minor healing spell like that. Don't know how long I'll be able to hold on to such a thing. Considering my abilities are a bit limited at the moment, but there could be some benefits to that. We have a lot of Roa fruit. Depending on how much I get, I should think about selling some items at some point that I have a large quantity of. Even if they're not really worth much, if I can get, like, maybe a little extra, that could help. It would probably be nice. Okay, I'm guessing whoever is behind these spikes are not friendly, so let's be careful here. I feel like something's in this tent, yet I have no way of getting in. No, no, no. You saw nothing. Okay, I pretty much got the attention of the entire camp at this point. Okay, short sword I just picked up. Gotcha. Apparently I've never gotten a short sword before. A short straight sword with a short blade. In addition to its reliable standard damage, this weapon also boasts powerful piercing attacks. Lightweight amongst straight swords, this weapon is easy to wield, requiring only humble attributes. Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook. Let's see what we got here. A record of crafting techniques left by a glintstone craftsman who served the academy. Contains information on fox sorceries, such as they were called. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following: a cuckoo glintstone. Oh yeah, we also picked up an academy scroll. Scroll of the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. The glintstone sorcerers, the place of study. Can be given to a learned sorcerer to gain access to the following sorceries: Great Glintstone Shard and Swift Glintstone Shard. We got smoldering butterflies there. might be in here. Nothing. Oh, hi. Nice try, buddy. But you're gonna have to be faster than that. Let's see, where do we want to go next? I see a skull containing some runes. We see some kind of glowing figure down there. In a fireplace. Are they friendly, or is that a powerful mage? I mean, there's a site of grace here, so I guess they're friendly. Oh, that's just a light. Maybe there's like a merchant or someone over here. Yep, we got a merchant.
You're new around here. Surprised you found me in my little nook. No matter, no matter. Your money's as good as anyone else's. Why don't you take a look at my wares? Oh, but don't ask me how I got my hands on them, eh?
I mean, I'm left to assume it's something like a lot of merchants in like Dark Souls where they just steal them or something. Ooh, a kite shield. A standard medium-sized kite shield, or metal shield. Metal shields reliably negate physical damage when guarding, a trait which made them highly trusted on the battlefield. An astrologer hood. Hood fashioned from supple cloth, worn by those who look to the cosmos above. They read fate in stars and are said to be heirs of the glintstone sorcerers. But alas, the night sky no longer cradles fate. The astrologer robe fashioned from a supple cloth, worn by those who look to the cosmos above. They read fate in the stars and are said to be heirs of the glintstone sorcerers. But alas, the night sky no longer cradles fate. Okay, so it's the same info for each time. Oh, he sells some level 2 smithing stones. That might be a nice lantern. A small waist-worn lantern that illuminates surroundings. Use once to turn on, use again to turn off. While its light is dimmer than that of a torch, it has the advantage of freeing up the user's hands. Okay. Nomadic Warrior's Cookbook I can use to craft a crystal dart, spell-proof dried liver, or a shatter shard arrow. The S-Stock large piercing sword with a long, hard-bladed edge, which is also capable of slashing attacks. For its large size, it can be wielded rather nimbly, leaving it little opportunity for the enemy to counter. Skill, Impaling Thrust. Skill that lets piercing armaments overcome enemy shields. Build power, then lunge forward for a strong thrust that pierces an enemy's guard. So the Astrologer's Staff. Staff of the Astrologers. A glintstone is embedded in the tip, enabling it to be used as a catalyst for sorceries. Sorceries must be memorized first at a site of lost grace, and a staff must be equipped to cast them. Okay. Let me look at some things here, because I just got my hands on a pretty good staff. The meteorite staff. It's going to be a bit expensive, but it scales really well with intelligence, so I don't think...
Everyone can tell how good my wares are. You've a discerning...
So with how well that scales with intelligence, I can tell that's going to be worth investing in. Compared to this, which only has C-level scaling. So ultimately, I think of all the items here, I'd be down to compare the differences in power between the different medium shields, as this is a pretty good-looking medium-weight shield. I mean, for the standard issue it is, it sounds like it'll be good. So I think I'll get that, and then we'll save up for stuff like, I guess, the cookbook and the smith. Probably the smithing stones first, as I'm pretty sure the current level of my greatsword, I'm gonna need more level 2 smithing stones. I guess the reason why I'm not too eager to get more of those is that it's pretty easy to find level 2 smithing stones. But let me have a look at the differences in power between these two shields, because a lot of these shields have quite the difference in power. This one, it seems like they negate a bit more holy damage, but a bit less in terms of fire and lightning. So in some ways, it's probably useful. I guess how would it look with my current build? Because I guess it would blend in a bit better with my character design. Well, maybe the armor look. But I do also kind of like the flashy look of this shield. So I think for now I'm going to stick with this shield. Because I like the design of this shield and it matches well with the blue cloth on my current armor. Who knows, maybe if I get a differently designed armor, maybe one will look better over the other. But at least I got a decent shield if I want a bit more damage negation against holy attacks. Well, how do I get to that? I don't have the map for this place yet. Ugh. Yeah, this isn't gonna go anywhere. Mushroom. I guess maybe I'll find a route later as I'm adventuring. I guess for now I'll just get back to the adventure and see what I can find. Oh, hi. Okay, we do have enemies that roam around in this pond. I can't just go running around willy-nilly. There's a glintstone firefly. What we got over here? What are you guys hiding over there? A grave violet, which seems to be a crafting item. A purple flower that blooms in graveyards. Yeah, the hue of ghost flame. It's believed to be useful in calling forth spirits. Ah, here's the map. So now I can see where I am and where I'm going. Oh yeah, I wanted to give a spell to someone. I forget where they were, though. I know they were... Oh, yes. Here we are. I wanted to give Celine some... this scroll. Hey, Celine.
There you are, my apprentice. Shall we commence the lesson?
Yeah, I got a Academy
Is that a
scroll.
scroll? takes me back to my academy days. Very well. This is sorcery with which I'm not entirely unfamiliar. I'll be sure to incorporate it into one of your lessons. Never lose that inquisitive spirit, my apprentice.
Well, let's see here. I'm not entirely sure which sorcery that gave me there. I forget which ones it said that it would. I think the glintstone shards one, maybe. Definitely glintstone, great glintstone shard. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria. The glintstone serves as conduit, launching large magical projectiles at foes. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. Those unworthy of the stone crown typically end their brief journey into sorcery here. Unworthy of the stone crown. Glintstone stars. I think I have seen this sorcery before, but let me see here. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria fires 3 magic shooting stars that pursue the target. This sorcery can be cast while in motion. Casting enhances potency. The sorcery of Livinus Conspectus, which attracts sorcerers from Celia, Town of Sorcery. Okay, I definitely know this is a new one. Glintstone Arc. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria fires a horizontal arc of magic that spreads outward. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. Granted to sorcerers who depart from the Academy to embark on journeys in order to... Wait, isn't this the other sorcery that one guy could sell me? Anyway, I also don't think we looked into the information on Crystal Barrage yet. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria fires a volley of glintstone crystal shards. Charging increases potency. A sorcery of the Crystal Cadre, a group of sorcerers who pursue the wisdom of stone. Excuse me. The secrets locked in the faint cogitation of the Crystallians. So previously we were looking around over here and got the map. I forget. What else did I want to buy from you other than the smithing stones?
My ways are. You've a discerning eye, you have.
Oh yeah, the Nomadic Warriors cookbook. Currently I can't afford any though. So if I want to see what might be over this way. It's just a mushroom. That was probably also a mushroom. Let's just keep moving for now. I'm not too eager just to fight a few bats. Unless I'm interested in grinding for runes. Oh, it's one of these. Yeah, I'd be down to see what's up here. Believe I can fly. There's a site of grace over here. Can't tell if that's like a balloon or what that might be in the distance. Wait, what was... Alter garments? Wait, so what does that mean exactly? I guess it just, like, makes the armor lighter at the cost of having... of it being weaker? Why would I want that? Alright. Looks like we got some attackers in this area. What are these guys up to? Apparently this route leads to the other end of the bridge. That had like that, yeah, finger reader. So initially that bridge was broken. So my only way to get to this area was by getting past Stormvale Castle. Okay. Wait, no, I didn't want to call back my horse. I just wanted to heal. Not bad, buddy. You're good. But I'm dead. Ow. Okay, well, you're definitely a good one. That's for sure. You're too late, buddy. Your best troops are already dead. Not really much of anything else you can do there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there was anything of value here. I just want to see what's over at this end of the bridge. Oh, there's a carriage. Well, don't mind if I have myself a look. The tree spar. Yeah, you're too late, buddy. See, this is why I prefer fast attacks, so I can get away from strong attacks like those. Don't. Nice try. Anything good, or... Okay, so I had no reason to fight him. Okay. I did get a new weapon. Probably never going to use it, but that's pretty cool. The tree spear. Oh, why did I think it said tree spar? Golden spear with tree-like design, wielded by knights employed as palace guards in the royal capital of Lindell. Deals holy damage. Requiring superior dexterity to wield, the Great Spear can perform consecutive thrust attacks despite its larger size. Okay, so that's a really good dex weapon. Seems to be all that was over there, though. I guess for now we can head back to the site of grace and replenish my flasks. Or sacred tears. I'm kind of curious to see what's up. Okay, so clearly this route is how I make it to what I believe is the tower. Yeah, because that's clearly the tower that I'll need once I get my hands on the Great Rune from that place over there. So we've got a couple of areas to check out. So, I mean, we could start here and see what all this area has to offer. Ultimately, though, I'd like to get back down here first. Mainly to buy those smithing stones so I can get some more level ups on my sword.
Back again, are we? Not everyone can tell how good my wares are. You've a discerning eye, you have.
Look through this soda quickly. It's already 4. Wow, time passes by quickly. Alright, I was able to buy 2 of the smithing stones he had. I couldn't quite afford the last one, though. I'm certain these cookbooks will be useful. It'll be nice to have more smithing stones so I can level up my sword some more. Nice try. Of course I miss with my jump. Oh, I can backstab him. Alright, for now I'm kind of just checking out what's along this route. Looks like there's a bit of a current over here, maybe? So I guess there's plenty of ruins to explore here. Glintstone Firefly. get in a fast attack there. Okay, this is where I found the map. I think with how many enemies are around, though, probably best I just stay on foot for now. And save adventuring with the horse till later. How did none of those attacks hit this guy? Although, there is another point I can jump with the horse. I forget the horse's name at the moment. But I am curious to see what's up here, because this looks like it'd be en route to that castle. Malefactors Evergo. See what this place is about. Because usually there's like a boss in here, right? Though considering that, maybe I should have Elden, Thief of Fire. That looks like some fire, alright. Ah, you're a pyromancer. I mean, the stagger is good off charge attacks, that's for sure. Okay, you're going for the explosion again. That's fine. Nice try with the combustion. But you ain't taking me down that easily. Okay, you're sending out another explosion. Whoa. Dodged a little bit too early there, buddy. Oh, you can heal? Really? Get close to him, but I can't as long as he's got... Nice try, but I'm not giving you an opening to heal. Down you go. That was a risky move. I wanted to go back and heal, but I also didn't want him to heal. Enemy felled. Flame of the Fell God. Let's see what we just got. Was that a pyromancy? Well, it's an incantation of some kind, but I'm betting it's pyromancy. Flame of the Fell God. This legendary incantation is one of several that draws directly from the power of the fire giants. Releases a ball of raging fire, said to be inhabited by a fell god. The fireball floats towards enemies and explodes, setting the area ablaze. Arganthy, the chief guardian of the flame, had kept this incantation a well-kept secret until it was stolen by Elden. The fell god still lurks within the fire giants. Interesting. Some neat little lore. Let's see, what do I want to do now? Oh! I can, get that item that was along the steps around here. So I remember seeing an item, but had no way to reach it before. Now I do have a way to reach it. And then I could just drop down to the merchant. And get some... The sacrificial twig. What item is that? I'm not seeing it anywhere in my inventory. I don't know if it's a weapon or a... Oh, it's a talisman. Will be a loss on death in place of... Oh, so it's basically similar to a ring of sacrifice. A talisman fashioned from a dried twig, so slender that it might snap at the slightest touch. Prevents rune loss upon death, but will be lost itself in exchange. Believed to be a twig pruned from the air tree long, long ago. Interesting. That could be useful if there's ever an instance that I have a lot of runes.
Back again, are we? Not everyone can tell how good my wares are. You've a discerning eye, you have.
Yeah, we'll get that. And then... we'll head back up there in a little bit. For now, though, I think I'd like to head to the round table. In order to upgrade my sword at the blacksmith. Oh, hey there.
I don't believe we've met. I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. Those who live in death should be left well alone. All the more should you spy a mariner among their number, unless you wish to lay down your life in vain. You've met Garank, I take it. Then owing to our duties shared, we are now comrades in arms. I think you've earned this. The power of the Golden Order to aid the hunt of those who live in death.
Oh, you have some incantations. Okay. Looks like there are... Okay, so these are like attack-based things for faith builds, it looks like. Ooh. Order's Blade and Litany of Proper... Okay. One of the incantations of the Golden Order fundamentalists used by hunters of those who live in death. Creates an image of order, dealing holy damage to nearby foes. This incantation is especially damaging to those who live in death. Any felled by this incantation cannot be revived. The role of the hunters is to stamp out defiled reason, all for the perfection of the Golden Order. Wait, so does that mean that, like, this could, like, permadeath players or something? I'm a bit confused on what that means. And then Order's Blade. One of the incantations of the Golden Order fundamentalists used by hunters of those who live in death. Enchants armament held in the right hand with holy affinity attacks. This incantation is especially damaging to those who live in death. Any felled by this incantation cannot be revived. The role of the hunters is to stamp out defiled reason, all for the perfection of the Golden Order. Okay, so I guess these things would revolve around the Golden Order. The thing is, as useful as it probably is to add some holy damage to my attacks, this would also give me a reason to also buy the regular healing spell and not have the puny healing spell. At the same time, I'm a little on the in-between, because while I don't know much about Elden Ring, I have from some videos have heard not good things about the Golden Order, and that a lot of the, you know, the people in charge, like especially those that wield great runes, are like were like pitted against each other by their family. Has created something apparent. I don't know the details. All I know is that the Golden Order is kind of messed up, ultimately making it to where I don't know if I want to go down the route of faith. Maybe when going for a different ending in the game, I'll make a faith build, maybe.
Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order. Their mere existence sullies the guidance of gold, tainting its truth. And so it is the vermin must be exterminated, down to the very last.
So yeah, probably best I ignore. No, I don't think I've seen your daughter, buddy.
She's a servant to my house. She's been my companion since childhood. I've lost count of the number of times I've had to find her like this. Honestly, she's such a little tomboy.
What else do we have here? I forget who you were.
Nice to see you again. My
Who were you
name's
again?
Roderica.
Roderica.
I should have told you sooner. Isn't this place impressive though? The round
And there's a lot here.
Covert quarters of the Two Fingers, and gathering place of champions who vie to become Elden Lord. I never knew the guidance bestowed upon us Tarnished had such fantastic roots, although it's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose. It's all
There's a
bit
lot
much
here.
for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose.
Yeah, it's really going to be up to my community to figure out exactly which ending to the game is the one I should go with for my main character. Because all I know at the moment is that, I don't know, things are messed up is all.
Now, look at you. Those eyes tell a story of a challenger who's felled his mark. Find 'em well. Now lay out your arms.
Wait, what Ashes of War do I currently have, and how would it benefit my weapon? This one would allow me to go down the strength route for my weapon, while this one would, well, also kind of go down the strength route. This one would add arcane damage to my weapon. I'm still tempted to go down the determination route. Only problem there is that it would stamp out a lot of base damage. So I'm still kind of on the in-between there, especially when I'm still leveling up strength and dexterity to be decent. This, though, like if I specifically wanted to go down this route, let's see, what would Wild Strikes do? Swing armament in with Wild Abandon, hold to continue swinging, can be followed up with a normal or strong attack. And then this one would be Ground Slam. Jump up high into the air and crash down on the ground ahead. The resulting pratfall sends a powerful shockwave in all directions. These seem like useful attacks. Again, I'm still tempted to go down the determination route, especially knowing that I'll probably be leveling up both strength and dexterity to get the most out of my claymore. That's what I'm tempted to do right now. Because while definitely more benefit... Well, I want to try and figure something out here. Because I forget if... I forget if I can freely change between the different Ashes of War. So I could decide freely which one might have more benefits. I mean, right now with the current benefits... I mean, technically it's still like 1 point weaker than just simply keeping it in its normal form. Well, that's not what I'm... Oh, I can talk about Roderica.
Oh boy. She's crestfallen and can scarcely swing a blade. But she has a gift for spirit tuning.
Spirit
Saw
tuning?
another one like her long ago. Their eyes share the same hue.
Huh. Interesting. Duplication. I guess if I want more than one of the same Ash of War, like if I want to apply an Ash of War I liked before to a different weapon, maybe? I'm not sure. For now, I just want to focus on getting it leveled up with the smithing stones I have. So now I'll have increased damage until I can find some more smithing stones. Wait a minute. Can I not level up the meteor catalyst? Because if so... If I can't level up the meteorite staff... Yeah, it can't be strengthened in any way. So ultimately, if a regular staff could be leveled up to the point that it could also... Well, I'm not sure, because... I don't know how you can have better scaling than S-rank scaling. So it's still a really good staff. Just not sure, like, what all I could do to boost it.
It's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose.
Tell her what the blacksmith said. Yeah, I'm curious to know what that means.
I possess some kind of gift. I don't believe you. But if I do have this talent, and goodness knows it would be my first, I suppose I should try to hone it, shouldn't I? I'll ask Master Hugh to teach me. Certainly he does appear intimidating and holds no love for us tarnished. But I know he's trapped here at the Round Table Hold, so I can tell. He's a gentle soul.
And even if he is dangerous, I mean, you're not allowed to attack inside the Round Table Hold itself, so you should be safe here. So ultimately, this door wasn't open before. What's going on here?
New tarnished. You've done well. I am Enya, the Finger Reader. I interpret the words of the fingers, envoys to the greater will.
So what's the greater will?
Look there. The fingers tremble to welcome you, Shardbearer. Let their wisdom wash over.
Clearly those fingers have been through some stuff.
Great Elden Ring, root of the Golden Order, anchor of all lands, giver of grace, wellspring of all joy. Until it was shattered, the tragic corruption of the Order has taken its toll. Across the realm, life lies in ruin, fallen to pieces. Foul curses and misery spread, unabating. But the greater will has not abandoned the realm, nor the life that inhabits it. So it is that the tarnished are guided by grace, called to act. Brave tarnished, your great rune is a handsome shard of the Elden Ring.
Yeah, I know.
Another of its kind, to become Elden Lord and restore the Golden Order.
Yeah, but if the thing is, again,
Words of the fingers guide you.
again, we know the Golden Order. I know the Golden Order is corrupt. So that then raises the question, would that really be a good idea to restore the Golden Order? It's the same thing as Dark Souls, where they, like, hype you up as a big deal for succeeding Gwyn in, you know, inheriting the fire of our world. When in actuality, all you're doing is becoming fuel for a dying flame. A flame that was meant to die a long time ago. So I guess how much... Okay, I still need a few more runes before I can level up myself. I guess for now, let's head back. I'll admit, things have been a bit more slower paced than I expected today. I sort of blame it on that talisman that I haven't been dying at all this stream. Because again, the whole reason I'm playing a hard game is to encourage myself to do the... to, you know, get some job searching going. Have it as my primary motivator. I mean, I'm certain I'll eventually get some tough bosses. I mean, if we wanted to, we could probably just head straight for, you know, the boss I had trouble with back in my first playthrough. Anyway, at this time, I'd like to get in a quick bathroom break, so we will be back in a little bit, everyone. Oh, hey there, Doc. I was just about to take a bathroom break here, like, stream's currently in intermission mode. Sure. Yes, I'm very unsure myself on the best move, because, yeah, I'll talk about it when I get back from my bathroom break, so one moment. And we're back. Some more Elden Ring.
Are you streaming right now?
Yes, I'm currently, that Saturdays are always my best days to stream.
It's because you're not in your streaming voice chat, so I just wasn't sure.
I mean, I never really use the streaming voice chat, mainly because it limits the amount of community members that are free to join in.
I sort of thought that was the point, just to have like a filter in case you need it.
Yeah, but I like the friends I've made across the internet to be free to jump in anytime, like, Jackie or Jedi or any other friends I've made, which is mainly why I've put in the effort to keep the server itself closed off from the public and only invite those I consider good friends onto the server.
I see. In that case, you should think of something you could repurpose the streaming voice chat for.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, I really wanted to talk to you about your DM issue.
Right.
I know that up until now, I have been a proponent of you finding someone who can DM for you, as opposed to your original plan, which was DMing yourself.
Well, that was just something I was considering, since I didn't know any DMs.
The main reason is because DMing, while it's a critical part of any tabletop RPG, is, I do believe, in a way, more demanding than simply being a player. That's just the impression I get. And someone going in unprepared is, I believe, going to have a real miserable time trying to do that when they're trying to play the game for the very first time, having never actually been a player. So is not really going in with an expectation of what they should be doing, because they don't have an example to follow. That was my real opinion of the fact, and why I said you should look for someone with a little bit of experience to DM for you, and why I said I couldn't do it because I don't have any experience playing as a player myself. Otherwise, I would have volunteered. But if it's expensive, I think you should do it yourself and save the money and try to do it yourself.
This is just one
as opposed to spend
DM
money.
That's expensive. And again, the sessions themselves are free. They're mainly charging for to make the 3D characters that they consider to be required for the campaigns they do.
In that case, use the site the resource that I provided to find a cheaper alternative.
Exactly.
Or I'd say just do it yourself. Just DM yourself. Either option is better than paying a lot. Or if you really like the service that he's going to provide, then in that case, all the other players who are going to join should also pay a fraction of the fee.
And the thing is, I know for a fact Jedi and likely also Jackie probably can't afford the prices they have.
I would imagine if they can't afford it, neither can you.
I suppose that's
in American dollars. We're not going to share the guy's name, but in American dollars, how much was he charging?
So, to go over what they were charging, I'll pull it up myself. And I'll pull up the conversation I've been having with the DM throughout the day. Let me finish reading it here.
I'm much more curious about just the big total number.
Okay. With the deal they offer for new players, they start up with an upfront of about $59.
Jesus Christ! I mean, listen.
Yeah, okay, if that alone's intimidating you, then best we not take
If that's the starting price and there's more to it, like, it's like art, okay? Artists can charge what they feel their art is worth. There's nothing wrong with having a big price. But that is expensive, and I don't, like, I wouldn't want... rent an apartment by myself. In Canadian dollars, I pay just over $1,000 a month to be able to live by myself in a nice one-bedroom apartment, a 3.5. Uh, you live with family, and even if I lived with my family, I would not want to pay $60 American for a DM. I'm sure it was worth it with the lovely 3D models he would provide, but it's just out of my means. You actually do live with your family, and so I don't
Right.
mean to assume your financial situation, but like it's like taking a bullet to the gut for like a couple of minutes, even though it's probably a couple of hours and multiple sessions. Listen, I don't know how many sessions he's gonna do, but let's say it's a single total sum and it's like 10 or 20 sessions, which a TTRPG could definitely go for. Maybe that is worth it, because 10 or 20 sessions is a lot. I don't know how many sessions you intended to do, but if it's a lot of sessions, then for a single lump sum, maybe it's worth it. But I don't think you're gonna do that many sessions. And so if you're only gonna do 2 or 3, that's like a lot. I think you should at least look for someone in like the $20 range just to make it for the first time to get a taste. You don't have to have all these fancy things. You should start small, 10, 15, $20 range. What's the website I gave you for finding a DM again?
Let
Where
me
is that?
see. I did bookmark it here. Let me quickly open up my web browser.
I'm gonna go look for just to compare what genre was he gonna create. I know you wanted to do like a specific campaign that incorporated the different games you played on your
Well,
channel. I don't
that
know if he
wasn't
was
a
gonna do that for you.
requirement. That was just if it's something that
That was just
DM
like
could
wishful
pull
thinking.
off. Yes.
What sort of setting where did you want? Fantasy setting, sci-fi? What sort of high fantasy, low fantasy? I'm just gonna look online really quick and compare prices.
I was thinking, typical high fantasy stuff. The kind of
All
stuff
right,
that
so
you
like
would.
elves and dragons and whatnot.
Yeah. Something
All right,
traditional that most people would associate with D&D.
what was the website called?
All right,
Just tell me the name so I can.
all right. My web browser is loading up now. Giving them okay. I think it's this site here. Start
Mhm.
playing dot games.
Start
Yeah.
playing dot games. All right. Find games or find game masters. Price per session. I want to play. Game style, theme, uh, anime, dark fantasy. We'll just do fantasy. There we go. Game styles, uh, organized play. We'll just do. We'll just leave it as empty. Apply. All right. So I'm seeing like a lot of the things here are per session. So when you were doing this in your mind, how many sessions were you intending to do ideally? Like a
Um.
one-off thing?
Now, first off, I'd like to point out that this person does not charge it by first session. It would be a
I
one-time
know.
payment for the
That's sort of
entire
what I'm.
campaign.
Let's
Now,
say he did. The more sessions you do, the more the value of his price comes into play. But I would say, because it sounds like you were gonna say it starts at $59, but then there was like extra
so
surcharges. So I
I
stopped you before you continued on. But keeping that in mind, the more sessions you play with that guy, the more value you get because he doesn't charge per session. On this site, it looks like a lot of people do charge per session, but if you only intended to play one session, then it's better to go with these guys as opposed to the guy you were talking to. Which is why I'm asking, in your head, the ideal situation, how many sessions did you intend to play?
I was hoping we could pull off an entire campaign's worth.
I'm gonna be right back. I got a phone call.
Okay. All right. See you in a bit, Doc. Alright, in the meantime, let's get back to the game. I did not mean to go this way. I meant to go up this way, but I guess while I'm up here, we might as well see what's going on this way. See, I'm not sure if that's an NPC. Nope, that's an enemy. Oh boy, we got dogs. Okay, these guys are fast. Oh, what do we got here? A Stormhawk feather, probably a crafting item. I'm guessing. A feather from a hawk that lived as one with the storms. These feathers enveloped in swirling winds are often used for arrow fletching.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, welcome back, Doc.
So on the website, each of these guys seem to average around $20 per session. So, what you would do, so a full campaign is like it could go like however, essentially, what's the total price? I cut you off before you told me the total price of the guy. You said it started off at like $59 and then there's extra stuff.
Right,
so
that was just the initial updraft, I guess, for setting things up. In terms of the total price, in terms of the new player rate, now, this is with no additional charges or hidden fees, from what they've told. They say it will be $129 per player.
Okay. $129 per player. Your players, as you said, would not be able to pay that themselves. So it sounds like you were going to pay it for them. Is that correct?
Pretty much. So I'd probably be buying what would basically be the equivalent of an entire video game console just to play D&D on the channel with my community.
Right. So I'm gonna do the math. How many players?
I'm not 100% sure, because I know
minimum.
In a few...
What was the minimum?
The minimum... I know at least Jedi was interested. I don't know if anyone else got to the poll in time to mention if they were interested. So if we're going the absolute minimum, if it's me, Jedi, and I'm guessing you're also interested in partaking in this campaign.
Maybe.
So
it depends
let's
on my
say
schedule.
at minimum 3.
All right. So that's $387. Is that including the 59, by the way?
That would not be including the 59.
Okay, so 387 plus $59 is $446. So let's say on average for everyone else it's $20 per session. So we're going to divide 446 by 20. Okay, that is 22.3. You, in order to break even and get the same value from everyone else, the same value that everyone else provides, you would have to do 23 sessions. That is a lot of sessions. For a huge campaign that maybe you could spend a year or two, several months doing, or even a year or two if people's schedules don't match up properly and you have to like delay, that is possible. You could probably do 22 sessions. Critical Role campaigns go like 100, go into like 100 sessions, whereas if you look at other sessions, like Dimension 20, they get theirs done in about 10 or 12, 6 on the smaller ones. So do you think you could pull off 23 sessions?
Well, here's what I'm gonna do.
If you could do 23 sessions or more, then the price this guy offers is a good price. If you can't do 23 sessions, then go with one of these other people.
Now, do remember, what they're offering involves an entire 3D world, 3D made characters, and a bunch of other things as well. I'd just like to point that out. Now, what I'm
When
gonna
you're
do.
broke, when you're broke, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We're broke, remember? Money
Alright.
is a factor. We can't always go for the nice shiny thing.
Right.
We have to be reasonable.
Yeah.
So
The thing
yes, I know.
is, if it's gonna be per session, here's what I'm thinking. Because I'm expecting it to be a similar length as the one D&D campaign that I partook in but never got to finish due to the pandemic. So it was a
How many
pirate-themed
sessions was that?
campaign. The first what?
How many sessions did you get done before it was finished?
That's what I'm trying to remember here. So give me a moment to jog my memory. You can't rush me like Mom does, okay?
Sorry.
All right. Thank you for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first session was sort of our intro where we kind of had a first battle against some enemies. I remember. Now do
Combat in
also
the first
remember.
session. Very cool.
Now do also remember that some of these sessions were during weekly, I think, like board game nights at the college gaming society. So in terms of exact length, I mean, I guess they were at least a couple hours long if it went for the entire meeting. Yeah. Anyway, session 2, I believe we were sneaking around, saw a tower in the distance, and then I think basically formed a bit of an alliance with like a group of pirates or something that were also stuck on the island we were stuck on. And then session 3, I think, was mostly investigation based, where we learned that the being in the tower, that's sort of the reason why no one has been able to escape the island, is ruled over by a lich. And then I think session 4, we investigated like some ruins or something, got caught up in a tight battle in which it ended in a cliffhanger where it was revealed the leader of the pirates was a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
So session 5 was the fight against the traitor, which led to the unfortunate death of one of our party members.
Did it feel like you were building up to the climax then? Like you were about to get to the end of the adventure?
I'll get to that in a moment. Again, you gotta have patience with me here, okay? You rushed me. This is how my thought process works, okay? You gotta remember you're dealing with an autistic guy here.
From one autistic individual to another, I get it.
So yeah, we had the unfortunate death, and then once we did finally beat the traitor, it was revealed that the entire gang of pirates was all an illusion cast by the traitor. So the whole thing was just a trap, I guess, set up by the Lich to lure in unsuspecting castaways on the island. Session 6, I think, was when we used what we found from the ruins to do to explore, I think, a variety. There were a variety of 4 different routes we could take using a teleportation circle, I think. One of them was a throne room, one of them was a dungeon, and then I think there were 2 of them, like one of them looked like a prison-like dungeon. And then there were 2, I guess, sort of normal-like dungeons. We went into, I think, the prison-based dungeon where I think it was revealed, where it was shown where there are, like, I think, sacrifices being made, or, I guess, like, to give the Lich power. In which, I think I remember we found I think some sort of magic circle that I guess they were using for sacrifices. One of our party members attempted to break it. We found a room with a mimic in it. We had to fight the mimic. My character, which was a paladin, almost died. Like I had to do some death saves. And then that's when we found, I forget what it was called. The thing, the like pond thing that's supposed to be what the lich revives from after you kill the lich.
Yeah, I forget what it's called too, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, so it's like you have to destroy that first in order to ensure that when you kill the lich, it stays dead for good. And then something that had fled from our first encounter back in our very first session, who fled, was there guarding that thing, looking stronger than ever. And then that's where that session ended. And then that was as far as we got before the pandemic prevented us from finishing the campaign. So I'd say probably like somewhere from 6 to... Not going to say the slang. In terms of how much it took us...
A phylactery.
Yeah, that's what it was called. A phylactery. So I'd say probably around at least 6 sessions we had there just to get that far. So if we assume that it was just combined with whatever the length was of those other 3 dungeons, I'm guessing the other 2 were other dungeons, and I guess the throne route would have taken us straight to the final battle against the Lich. Is what I'm assuming, anyway. I'm guessing that maybe would have taken us 3 or 4 more sessions, so that probably would have taken us about 10 sessions, I'd say.
So,
at max. Well, who knows? There could be more or less.
So you said that you would sort of want to have a campaign just about as long as that. And 10 sessions is a great length for a campaign, I think. Based on the Dimension 20 campaigns that I've watched, which can be like 12 episodes long, which each episode is a session. 10 is like a great length. You would have to do twice that in order to get the same value from the expensive guy as the other DMs.
Yeah. Now another thing to continue.
And there's a couple of people here who only pay $15 a session or $18 a session, so you can be frugal.
So another thing to consider as well is how invested would my community be in this campaign, because who knows, it could be one of those campaigns where we don't even get past the character creator.
That's a very good point. You might want to consider just doing a one-off or a one-shot, which is an entire campaign in a single session.
That's also a possibility. Because the thing is, I was interested in having something a bit more overarching with our characters starting at level 1 and us actually, getting stronger throughout the campaign.
You have to test the waters with your community. You don't know how many people would be invested or available for that amount of time. While it would be ideal, certainly I agree, I think trying a one-shot just to test the waters and seeing how your community responds and how many people actually show up for it is just, sort of like testing the idea. The same, just sort of like a test, a community experiment.
Well, how about this then? We'll make sure our first the first session we do is one that's, basically a one-session campaign. Something simple, but still have something set up that if our group wanted to play more with our party, that we could do that. That then we get into a more overarching campaign.
That's a good idea. It's just a test to see if the people in your server, they say they're saying they're interested now, a couple of people are saying. But how many people actually show up? That's what you need to test. And so I
Right.
think doing a one-off the first try is a good idea, like a tutorial, or like a practice session to see if it's worth investing the money.
Okay.
And for people like Jackie, that you said probably couldn't afford it, doing if you instead of dividing what was it $446 between 4 or 5 people, dividing $20 between 4 or 5 people is a lot easier. And so if you do one
True.
session for $20, divide it, everyone pays $5. Well,
Yeah.
maybe more people
Well,
show up.
here's what I'd like to do. I'm still mostly wanting this all to come out of my pocket to support my community and giving them this opportunity to play. But I'll give it this. If they'd like to pitch in, I'll give them the option to.
That's a good idea. For 20 or $25, that's a lot more feasible.
All right. So I guess with that being the case, I'm guessing we're not going to invite the expensive DM onto the server.
It's your choice. I'm just voicing my opinion and telling you my 2 cents.
Because like, if we're not
But
going to,
ultimately, it is your decision. You could still go with the expensive guy, but I would be sitting here thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe gamers spent $400
right?
on
Like, I
this,
guess it
and
would
we
be a
don't even know
bit
how many people are
more
showing up."
understandable if I had full time, and was living on my own, that I could sustain myself and know that I'd be perfectly
And you don't
willing
even
to.
have a. Your stream is literally trying to find a job, which implies that you currently do not. You cannot afford the $450 guy right now. Be reasonable. You don't even have a job yet. Get a job first, then get the $450 guy. Have that as your ultimate goal, and it'll help motivate you to get a proper job.
Okay. With that being the case, seeing how it might be a future option if my community is ever interested in more D&D, I'll still invite them to the server.
Sure. Maybe he'll join in as a player.
Maybe.
Wishful thinking.
Ultimately, though, yeah, it sounds like our better option would be to go with a more cheaper option. Now, another thing we could do is the server I found this DM on. Now, this was initially recommended to me by, I think, like another streamer I follow. They told me that it was a place for DMs looking for groups, though from what I can tell, everything on this Discord server is like official stuff, and you're not allowed to promote unrelated campaigns. So at first it wasn't really what I was looking for until, I was DM'd by one of the members on that server and was recommended this DM. One thing that server
I'm sure
does...
he's a wonderful DM. He's just expensive.
I'm certain as well. Again, it sounds cool to have 3D models. Anyway, they do have lessons on that server on how to be a dungeon master, how to be a good dungeon master. That if I were to take the time to attend those lessons, maybe I could gain the skills to still go down the route of DMing this campaign myself.
If you think you'd enjoy that.
Well, it really depends. I mean, at the moment, I have no idea what all I'd be doing or exactly how much responsibility I'd have as the dungeon master.
If that's something you're interested in doing, might I once again recommend on the Daggerheart website,
Thank you, Mom.
there is downloadable and printable content. One is I already sent you the errata because when the printed version came out, there were some mistakes in the book. There is also a quick start campaign with pre-made characters and whatnot, and full instructions that the DM needs to follow in order to tell the story and do the campaign. So I would, if you want to try like a practice session with people, you could try DMing that.
Okay, so basically, this practice session off the official Daggerheart website is what you're recommending.
Yeah, I already actually have a printed copy of the quick start, but I could send you the link to where to get it. And like, unlike just the book, which I do, which if you're DMing, you should probably still have. This is it's like the campaign is written page by page, and it sort of tells you what to say or do, and it also tells you what to say or do based on the choices that your players might make. It's really like we're not just giving you the background of what you need to know, we're telling you what to say. That's the impression I got.
So it's
So I thought it
basically
was
word
very
for word instructions. The kind of instructions I like. All right. Yeah, I'll talk about it with my community, and we can discuss a good time to try it out. I know I'll definitely want to maybe wait till Freezing Time gets back from his hiatus. It should be a matter of days until he's back, from what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the meantime here, I'll admit the job searching hasn't really been going according to plan, as I have not died once yet this stream.
Whoa, that's such a shame. Oh gosh, oh golly.
I mean, most of this stream so far has mainly just been exploring and encountering some fairly easy enemies. There was only like maybe 1 or 2 instances that I almost died. Let me see here. This marks Melinia's southward march. The blade of Mikola and her clean wrought knights grant her wings never to be clipped. Anyway,
God dang nabbit.
Mainly, I feel like it's mainly thanks to getting my hand on this talisman that someone backseated me into getting last stream, which is basically this game's equivalent of the Ring of Favor and Protection, which basically raises a lot of attributes, and any cons it has is basically...
You take more damage.
Right, which... Considering the fact that it already raises maximum HP, the pros kind of outweigh the cons here. So if we wanted to, I'd be down to just wrap up the stream here and we could have tonight be our movie night.
So, that's a very interesting proposition. Let me tell you what the phone call I just had was about.
Did you need
My
to fill in
family
for...
owns my family owns a small trailer home in Vermont that every summer we have to go open and, clean the rat poop out and turn on the electricity and the gas and whatnot. My dad doesn't want to do it anymore because he's getting older, so my mom is recruiting me to go do that. And so we're going to spend the day tomorrow opening up this trailer in Vermont, and then I'm coming back the same day. But I'm probably coming back at night, and I don't really know what time. So, depending on your schedule, tomorrow is a bit of a wash. So, while I don't want to interrupt your stream at the 2-hour mark, today might be the best day for movie night if that's what we'd like to do.
Well, like I said...
I thought the Vermont thing was actually being done next week, but if it's happening tomorrow, then we might ought to do movie night today.
All right. I mean, I could always do some more live streaming tomorrow night.
That's a very good point. You'll have to stream for me on my behalf as well, because my plans to stream this weekend, unless I do so Monday, just went down the drain. And my mother called me like that. I was like, oh, I forgot. My God, I guess I'm not streaming this weekend. I was going to stream Blueprints, and I was going to do that for 5-6 hours. But it's too late to stream for 5-6 hours right now, and I certainly don't have the time to do that tomorrow. I might have to do it Monday, but who knows?
Okay. Well, if that's the case, the question then is what would I be streaming tomorrow? Because most of the stuff I'd like to stream with you will require you to be here, like Tunic and Portal 2. Well, that's on your end, uh, with Portal 2 co-op.
You already beat Rondo of Blood in 3 hours?
Yeah, it only took me one stream. Now, granted, the site I played it on did have save states, as there were a few annoying sections. It was a good game, though. I mean, I was able to.
You're going, uh, you're going to really enjoy Symphony of the Night, I think.
So you'd
It
recommend I
seems like you've
start up.
already.
Go ahead.
I know that because you're playing in chronological order instead of release order, you probably already played a Castlevania game in the style of Castlevania of the Night, of Symphony of the Night. It's much more Metroidvania and exploratory. So I think you've already played one or two in that style. But Symphony of the Night, at least the version I played, was very good. Uh, the story was nice. It was fun to see Richter again after Dracula X or Rondo of Blood. So I think you'll enjoy doing Symphony of the Night if you didn't have any other plans. Did you decide to emulate it, or did you decide to get it on your phone?
I set up an emulator.
Okay.
I mean, I might know an app that I could. Well, I don't know a way I can live stream on it, but I know at least a way I can record videos screenshotting my phone. Nonetheless, I feel like it'll be simple going with what I'm used to and just sticking with good old emulation, as it's kind of what I'm used to at this point when it comes to games that I have no easy way of getting my hands on.
Makes sense. I did end up playing it on my phone, but then using a software to cast it to my computer. I don't know if you would have access to the same software. That's because I think mine was like pre-built into my phone. Mine's a special gaming phone, so it just sort of makes sense that it has it.
Interesting.
But I think you would enjoy Symphony of the Night. Then again, I don't have to be there for you to play Tunic. I could always watch you play, watch your YouTube video afterwards.
Oh, are
But if
you
you really wanted me
sure?
to be there,
I thought the whole point
I
of the
mean,
bet was that you wanted to be there to watch me play.
well, I wanted you to play the game, and I enjoy being there. So if you want me to be there, I'll be there. But so you could play Castlevania. That's fine. You could play more Elden Ring tomorrow as well, since I'm cutting you off at the 2 hour mark.
It'll sort of depend on what I'm in the mood to stream, and if I have much of a reason to get. Well, then again, the whole point of the Elden Ring streams is to encourage me to job search. It'll depend on what I'm in the mood to do tomorrow, I guess, after work.
It's such a shame that you're so good at the game that you never die. You never get to look for a job. Oh,
I mean, to be fair, I have been told Elden Ring.
My heart.
I have been told it outside of maybe a couple super bosses that Elden Ring is kind of easier compared to, like Dark Souls and the other From Software titles.
Oh, my heart bleeds cold borscht.
Nonetheless, I guess for tonight, I'll be wrapping things up here and getting a raid started, getting some dinner, and then I'll be ready for movie night.
All right.
So, let's see who is live at this time. Now, last I saw, Moonglow was doing an 8-hour Breath of the Wild stream.
Oh, so clearly not speedrunning.
Although it seems like they switched games.
Moonglow? I've never heard of.
Moonglow System.
Creature Kitchen.
Yeah, seems to be what they're... let's see. Vincent Stylish is playing Stranger of Paradise. I mainly followed that channel for the Castlevania streams they were doing. I think that one was also playing the Castlevania games in chronological order. So they haven't been streaming a lot of Castlevania lately. Otherwise, there's That just leaves some of the usual VTubers that are live pretty often. Good old Nui-sama with some Toho, and Rosette Bloodthorn, who's currently playing Pacific Drive.
I have an idea.
Those are about the channels I'm following, so otherwise I'm open to recommendations.
If we're not too you know what? If we're not so tired after movie night, how about we try to finish the Portal co-op?
Yeah, we can do that. Now, do
I don't
remember it's
think we
going
have
to be
a.
a bit of a long movie night due to us watching 2 episodes of Doctor Stone instead of 1.
It's 20 minutes more.
I'm also interested in seeing if you'd be interested in that pilot episode of Gameoverse.
I already watched it. I told you.
Oh, yeah, you did? I must have missed that message.
Oh, okay. I had seen the pilot before you told me you had also seen the pilot.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter then. Unless there's something you'd like to talk about with it at least. But that's something we can save for movie
I'm
night.
a fan of Aaron Hansen and Russ O'Donovan, so that's cool.
Nice. I don't know who
The big bad guy is voiced by one of my favorite voice actors, Christopher Sabat. The voice of Major Armstrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, they
Major
got him to
Armstrong.
voice the bad guy?
He's the voice of Vegeta. He's the voice of Piccolo. He's the voice of Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z. He's the voice of Roronoa Zoro from
And
One
Glitch
Piece.
got him?
Glitch got him. He's the voice. Oh my God, what's he not the voice of? He's the voice of. Who does he play in? D. Grayman.
I'm just astonished how big Glitch Productions has gotten in recent years. Like, again, I initially found them like that back during the days when I think like what many consider to be the golden age of SMG4. And back when they still did Hobo Bros.
He was the voice of General Cross Marion in D. Grayman. That's who it was. He's one of like the most prolific anime voice actors of the last 30 years. He's like in everything. If there's a shonen anime, he's in it.
All right.
He's the voice of All Might, for God's sake. All Might. He's the voice. I love Chris Sabat.
I was more impressed by the fact they got the composer for Banjo-Kazooie to compose, because I noticed there were straight up tracks from Banjo-Kazooie in Gameoverse, or at least music that sounded very similar to the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack, and they actually got the composer for that game. That was something that impressed me.
What? No way. Was he? Wait a minute. I don't believe it. Do you remember that awful Dragon Ball live action movie from like 2009?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
According to this, Christopher Sabat was in that movie too. It doesn't say who he played. Hold on. Who did Chris?
Hey, they might have gotten him to play Vegeta.
Vegeta wasn't in that movie. It was only the original Dragon Ball that it covered. Play in Dragon Ball. Really? Yeah, it basically went up to Piccolo.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever seen much of the original.
He played Shenron.
Oh.
He was Shenron in Dragon Ball Evolution. Literally, I mean, he was. If that's the case, he may have. I don't know. I don't remember Shenron even being in that movie. But hey, if he was in it, then he literally is in everything. Chris Sabat is amazing, but yeah, I recognized his voice immediately when the bad guy started speaking. Aaron Hansen plays like Flappers and the Purple Dinosaur, the Barney ripoff.
Oh yeah, which is
Aaron Hansen
must
played
protect
both of his characters. Yeah, Aaron Hansen played both those characters. I think Ross O'Donovan played the paper guy.
Oh, I
So
see
that's
your
pretty
message
cool.
now. I must have didn't notice it because I was, streaming.
Anyway, it's a pretty good cast. I think the main character's design is really good. A lot of people think she's very pretty. I think she's very pretty, so I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I'm a sucker for a cat girl. What can I say?
True.
Uh, and I was impressed with Murder Bots and
Murder drones.
Murder Drones and Amazing Digital Circus. So I figured I'd give Glitch a shot by watching the pilot for Game Overs. Anyway, speaking of watching stuff, we're gonna get ready for movie night, right?
Right. So I'm gonna get a raid started here. We were deciding who we wanted to raid because while there's some decent options in terms of channels on follow, there's always the option to check out someone else playing a Soulsborne or something. Looks like there's always plenty of channels playing.
Lionheart, who I rated a while ago and then followed, is live with about 5 people. I like to raid people with low viewer counts just because, try to help out the little guy.
So you're saying they're
So that's a recommendation. But they're the only, other than you, they're the only other small streamer currently live right now. There's a Sleepy Peach, but they have she has like 100 viewers right now, and so I normally try to raid people with a much smaller count than that.
Gotcha.
So if you have someone else that you're closer to, because I don't know this Lionheart person very well. I only discovered them a week ago. So if you have someone, if you have a better option, you should raid them. I'm just saying they're like an option currently right now.
Well, yeah, and like I said, there's plenty of channels here that I follow on my end who know me to some
live
extent.
Right now?
That are live right now. Like I said, there's Nui-sama, Rosette Bloodthorn, Moonglow System, and Vincent Stylish. Those are the channels I'm following that are currently live. Now, what I normally like to do,
I have a D4 right now in front of me, a 4-sided die. And so if you'd like to leave it to chance, that is also an option.
You know what? Let's have some fun with.
Hey.
Seeing how it might be a while till we actually get this D&D campaign off the ground. Let's have ourselves some fun with some dice rolling. So let's set Nui-sama to 1, Rosette Bloodthorn to 2, Moonglow System to 3, and Vincent Stylish to 4.
Awesome. I just need to pick up the die that fell out from underneath my desk.
Go ahead.
No, I was grabbing it with my foot and I got it. I will now unfold and then refold my little dice tray so that it doesn't fall off the table when I roll it. All right. Full honesty, I'm rolling it now. You won't be able to hear it because of the microphone filters. I rolled a 1.
All right, no way it is. Critical fail.
Yeah. Well, hey, apologize to Nui.
I mean, technically...
It's like, hi, Nui, we're rating you because we got a critical failure on a roll.
I mean, technically...
How dare they come and feel?
Yeah. I mean, technically, that would kind of make sense considering that Nui's audience considers her audience to be those who've died and are just waiting to be reincarnated. So I guess it would make the sense a move that causes us to lose would lead us to the Isekai goddess.
So what you're saying is that it was thematic. Did you know that in advance when you set her as 1?
I did not actually. I just went in top to bottom with the followers list that I had pulled
Listen,
up.
if you give me advantage, that means we could roll again, right? Did I roll that with advantage, or was I rolling it straight? Did I roll it or do I roll it with disadvantage, and we have to roll? Technically,
we haven't made our characters yet. I don't think we have the ability to give any kind of advantage to roll again, unfortunately. We're sort of
well,
we're sort of
like
starting
giving
with
the
nothing. We have the free version that doesn't
it's
allow.
the help action. Like if let's say you're trying to tie a knot, and someone else says, "I want to give them the help action." In world, what that looks like is someone coming over and helping them tie the knot. Two people looking at it instead of one. That for small things like that, that would mean the person doing the action gets advantage. So it's like, oh, I want to give them the help action. That gives the person advantage if the DM allows it. It's very much like at the whim of the DM. But when a disadvantage is the opposite, it means you roll 2 dice and you take the lower roll. But now that I think about it, since we rolled a 1 already, rolling with disadvantage wouldn't make a difference since we would still just get the 1 that I already rolled. It's the lowest possible roll. So whatever her name is, Nue, must have cursed the dice, and now I have to bathe it under a new moon.
That's
or
something
throw it
you'll
out.
probably have to explain to her, because, again, I don't fully know all the rules to this yet.
I feel, and thematically, that might be why I think you ought to be a player before you DM something. Just so, like, these little nuanced things that are hard to remember will be easier to remember once you've been a player and not just a DM. Oh, who is this dreamlike shutter person?
Don't worry, I banned them.
Very good. All right, so rating?
Yeah, let's rate before we get any more bots. So feel free to explain all that to Nui. So nonetheless, thank you everyone for watching. I mean, it hasn't exactly been the most eventful Elden Ring stream, but progress is progress. Feel free to check out Dr. Socrates 5 over on his channel. But with that, thank you everyone for watching. And as always, if you enjoyed my stream and wish to see more of my uploads, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and click the notification bell to stay notified of future uploads. For those of you watching on Twitch, feel free to leave a follow and also click the notification bell to stay notified of future uploads. Again, check out Doc's Twitch channel. He's a nice guy.
Dr. Socrates. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first time it was exact name, second time I'm going with what you preferred to be called.
Dr. Socrates is what I prefer to be called.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm always active there. And I do have a Discord server that, should you be willing to be respectful and abide by the rules, I'm down to send you an invite, where on the server you can stay updated with stream announcements, chat with my regulars, post some memes, as well as be able to join the voice channel where you can chat with me live on stream.
Like me!
Yeah. And until next time, this is the Gamer of Gamers, and stay excellent, everyone.
Excellent.
Perfect timing, the raid just started.